Personality is a skill. Create the version of yourself you love anytime, any day. Written and published by Samantha Monetti. Have you ever stood in front of a mirror wishing the reflection staring back was someone else? Maybe someone with more confidence, charm, or even boldness and composure. You're not alone. Many people feel trapped within the confines of their own personalities, as if they were born into a role they're destined to play for life. However, the great news I'm about to tell you is that your personality isn't set in stone. Changing it is akin to learning a new skill, like playing a piano or speaking a new language. Envision waking up each day and deciding who you want to be, crafting a version of yourself that you absolutely adore. This book is here to show you that it's possible. Our personalities can sometimes feel like an annoying song stuck on repeat, predictable, unchanging, and limiting. But here's the thing: personality is much more flexible than we give it credit for. It's both a skill and an art, something you can practice and refine. Think about it. Just as a musician hones their craft over time, you can learn to mold and shape your personality until it becomes a masterpiece. This book is about self discovery and empowerment. Most importantly, it's about taking control. It will guide you in understanding how our personalities work. We'll unpack why you feel stuck now and how you can break free from those invisible chains keeping you from becoming the person you've always wanted to be. We'll peek behind the curtains of science to see how adopting new habits and behaviors can lead to lasting change. While change might seem daunting, every small step contributes to a giant leap forward. Changing your personality isn't an overnight miracle, but a gradual process that begins with a single thought: I am capable of changing. Let's also talk about something epic: the law of attraction. Maybe you've heard it before. We attract what we are. It's such a simple yet remarkable concept. That means if we seeking joy, confidence, love, or success, we have to start by embodying those qualities. Easier said than done, right? That's where this book steps in. We'll unearth tips and tricks for becoming what you want to attract. When we align our inner world with our desires, we open ourselves to endless opportunities and possibilities. Changing your personality doesn't mean totally discarding who you are. It means enhancing, reshaping, and polishing what already exists inside you. And of course, letting go of what's not serving you anymore. It's about highlighting your strengths while courageously working through traumas and insecurities that may have overshadowed your true potential. Through each page, you'll find insights, stories, and exercises designed to support and uplift you. Consider this your personal roadmap, helping you to unlock the best version of yourself while healing wounds from the past that may have held you back. Throughout these pages, we're going to laugh, reflect, and maybe shed a tear or two. But most importantly, we're going to grow. You have the power to rewrite your narrative, to create a life full of authenticity, freedom, and joy. So, let's welcome this journey together with an open mind and heart. As you turn each page, remember that your personality is a work of art waiting you to emerge, waiting for you to resurface the real you. Today is the perfect day to start creating the version of yourself you love anytime and any day. Let's begin this beautiful transformation together. Chapter 1. Where did you get your personality from? Alana often sat in a room, looking at the mirror, searching for a glimpse of the person she felt she should be. She thought back to her childhood, memories mingling with her thoughts. When she was little, she learned to fend for herself in ways most kids didn't. Her parents were there physically, but emotionally, they were miles away. She couldn't recall a time where comfort wasn't mixed with disappointment. The silence of their disinterest sent her into a shell. I wish I could just cry, she would tell herself. But the tears never came. Instead, she learned to take care of everything on her own. Friends would come over, but she never invited them inside. Her personal space was a fortress, a place where she felt safe. You're too distant, they would say. But Alana didn't know how to change that. Every relationship she formed felt like a dance, always cautious and measured. She worried if she let anyone in, they could see how fragile her heart was, so she kept them at a distance. Why don't you ever let anyone close? Her best friend, Ella, asked one afternoon over coffee. Alana shrugged, stirring the milk in her cup. It's just easier this way. Ella frowned, tilting her head. But it's lonely, she replied. Alana nodded, but the loneliness felt strangely comforting at times. Each day, she faced the struggle of reconciling her desires for connection with the fear of being hurt. At work, she wore a mask. Her colleagues believed she was confident and focused. She joked and smiled, always polite but never too involved. One day, during a team meeting, her boss praised the team's efforts. Great job, everyone. I can always count on Alana to keep things on track, he said. Alana felt a wave of pride, yet the praise felt hollow. If they only knew, she thought, forcing her lips into a smile. Deep down, she wished she could feel the warmth of other people's company, but her mind screamed at her to stay guarded. The moment she let anyone see how she struggled was the moment she feared they would leave. Alana knew change was necessary, but didn't know where to start. One evening, she opened her old diary, flipping through the pages filled with dreams and fears. I want to be free, she had written. I want to feel like I belong. The words felt like a cry for help. She decided to take a small step forward, reaching out to a therapist for the first time. The thought brought chills to her spine. What will they think of me? She wondered. But she scheduled the appointment, breathless with uncertainty. Sitting in the therapist's office, Alana felt exposed for the first time. The walls felt like they were closing in, but the therapist smiled softly. Tell me about your childhood. Alana hesitated, her heart pounding. How could she put her past into words when it felt so messy? Eventually, memories spilled out, and she spoke of the distance she felt growing up. I learned to rely on myself, she said quietly. The therapist nodded. It makes sense. Building those walls to stay safe is natural, they replied. Alana stared at her hands, feeling as if her reality was finally being acknowledged. As weeks passed, Alana worked to unpack her emotions. During one session, she let out a sob she didn't know was trapped inside. I feel like I'm missing so much, she admitted. Connections with people, love, even friendship. The therapist leaned in. It's okay to feel that way. This is part of healing. Alana's heart raced. Hearing validation meant everything. She realized how her past shaped her present. A pivotal moment happened when she shared a heartfelt conversation with Ella. They discussed the pain of loneliness, and Alana found herself revealing more about her fears. I've pushed you away for so long, she confessed. The warmth of vulnerability washed over her, and she recognized change was possible, albeit daunting. As Alana began to navigate her feelings, she became more intentional about her relationships. She started small, allowing a little warmth to sip into her interactions. She tried inviting friends to join her for dinner and made an effort to check in with coworkers. The shift felt slow but significant. Conversations grew deeper and more meaningful. You seem different, Ella commented one evening. I feel like I'm starting to find my way, Alana replied, smiling. Old habits die hard, and there were moments where the urge to withdraw surfaced. But Alana had begun to understand her triggers better. During one tough day, she texted Ella, I really want to shut everyone out again. Ella responded almost immediately. And talk to me. Don't go back to the walls. Alana took a deep breath, typing out her feelings, feeling the weight lift slightly with each word. She began to recognize that reaching out didn't mean losing herself. It meant rebuilding brick by brick. Work became a space of growth as Alana shared ideas openly during meetings. Her colleagues noticed the change. You've got great insights, one said during lunch. Alana felt the blush rise on her cheeks. Thanks. I'm trying to be more involved, she admitted. It felt exhilarating to be seen, even just a little. Instead of retreating to solitude, she chose to embrace collaboration, basking in the exchange of ideas. Each moment felt like a small victory, and Alana still had a long way to go. Finally, facing the ghosts of her past felt like a daunting challenge, but now there was hope, lighting the way. She smiled at her own reflection. Each day, she was becoming a version of herself she had longed for. I can do this, she would tell herself. Alana had begun to answer the question of where her personality came from, slowly reshaping it along the journey to understanding and connection. How our childhood and past experiences shape our personalities. As we saw in Alana's example, childhood experiences play a huge role in shaping how we see ourselves and the world around us. When children grow up in a supportive and nurturing environment, they often develop confidence and a positive view of life. For instance, a child who receives encouragement to express their feelings is likely to learn the importance of communication. They build healthy relationships with family and friends because they feel safe to share their thoughts. In contrast, children who experience neglect or harsh criticism may struggle with self esteem. They might view the world through a lenses of fear or doubt, which can affect their ability to interact with others later on. These early experiences form the basis of our beliefs and behaviors, influencing our future decisions and our interactions with the world. Events that leave lasting scars. Certain events in childhood can leave deep emotional scars. Something as simple as a moment of bullying can forever change how a child views relationships, friendships, and trust. For example, a child who is bullied may learn to withdraw from social situations, viewing others with suspicion. They may become protective of themselves, leading to defensive behaviors that make it difficult to form new relationships. This withdrawal can create a pattern that lasts into adulthood, which can result in feelings of loneliness and isolation. Often, these negative patterns continue unless a person recognizes them and is willing to work on changing their behavior. Acknowledging the past can be the first step towards breaking the cycle. The impact of positive memories. On the other hand, positive memories, especially childhood memories, can instill courage and determination. A child who is encouraged to pursue their interests may learn to tackle challenges with grit. For instance, if a child is supported in their hobbies, they might develop a belief that they can succeed in difficult situations. However, even positive experiences can carry their own pressures. Children who feel they must always perform perfectly to make their parents proud may begin to link their self worth to their achievements. This constant pressure can lead to anxiety and the fear of failure, hindering their personal growth. Instead of enjoying the learning process, they might pursue success out of fear rather than a genuine love for growth. Breaking unhealthy cycles. Noticing old patterns helps us make conscious choices about changing them. We probably already know that wanting to improve is not sufficient. It requires action. We may find ourselves repeating unhealthy patterns we observed during our childhood. This might mean mimicking the relationships we saw growing up, even if they were flawed. Noticing these cycles can take time and effort. With time, we can establish healthier relationships based on awareness and understanding rather than blind imitation. Life experiences beyond childhood. Life experiences beyond childhood also play a massive role in shaping who we become. While childhood lays the groundwork, friendships, education, and challenges contribute to reshaping that foundation. Each new experience adds to the complexities of our identities, whether it's a lesson learned during school or a significant challenge faced in adulthood. These experiences shape us. Committing to self improvement. Transformation requires a strong commitment to self improvement. It entails questioning long held beliefs and being receptive to change. As we reflect on past experiences, we can determine what serves our well being and what does not. Identifying and shredding limiting beliefs creates space for new ideas and behaviors. The aim is to decide on a version of yourself that aligns with your true values and aspirations. Facing uncomfortable truths. Sometimes, the road to change requires us to confront uncomfortable truths. Addressing unresolved issues from childhood can be painful, but is fundamental for healing. This confrontation takes courage, and acknowledging past experiences is a critical part of growth. When we face these realities head on, we can empower ourselves to rewrite our narratives and build deeper connections with others. Are you ready to start deconstructing what you don't like so that you can develop a personality that serves you best? The next chapter will now guide us through the steps for beginning to change our current reality for the better. Chapter 2: Analyzing the strengths and weaknesses of your current personality. Alana knew she had to take a serious look at her personality to make the changes she wanted. She sat down with a notebook and started writing her strengths. She realized that she was a great listener and had an incredible ability to empathize with others. These were qualities she could build on. But Alana also had to confront her weaknesses. Being avoidant meant she often shied away from situations that made her feel uncomfortable. This led to missed opportunities. It felt tough, but she realized that by identifying these traits, she could work towards balancing them out. The feedback became a guiding light for Alana. Friends and family provided insights she hadn't considered. When someone pointed out that her avoidance often masked her intelligence, it was a revelation. She understood that this trait didn't define her, it challenged her. Instead of seeing her avoidant nature as a barrier, she started viewing it as a hurdle to leap over. This was empowering. Alana began to view them as not just strengths and weaknesses, but as aspects of her personality that could evolve. The SWOT analysis ensured she didn't overlook any parts of herself. SWOT stands for knowing your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Alana began to take small steps towards overcoming her avoidance. She joined a local book club knowing it would force her to engage with new people and ideas. As she interacted with others, she realized that these connections put her at ease. The supportive environment allowed her to shine as a listener and contributor. Each meeting slowly chipped away at her fears. The feedback from her club members helped her see that she was more capable than she initially believed. It was a chain reaction of growth. Her self awareness was never a straight line, and Alana learned that setbacks were part of the process. There were moments when she found herself slipping back into old habits. However, she began using constructive feedback as a tool for reflection. Whenever she felt avoidant, she would journal about it. Writing about her feelings helped her gain clarity. She looked back at her SWOT analysis regularly to remind herself of her strengths, empathy, listening, and even her ability to think deeply. The weaknesses remained, but they weren't as daunting anymore. They became invisible and manageable, fitting into a larger picture of her personality's evolution. Alana embraced the idea that every quality, whether seen as a strength or a weakness, always had room to grow. Her personality wasn't fixed, it was dynamic. Each conversation, every book she read, and all the interactions she had were tools in a toolbox for personal development. The act of identifying these aspects made her feel empowered to change the narrative. Instead of being defined by avoidance, she became defined by her journey of self improvement and growth. This shift in mindset was liberating. With each obstacle she faced, Alana leaned into her network more. Discussions with friends about her own experiences helped them bond deeper. They shared their strengths and weaknesses, creating an atmosphere of trust and understanding. The feedback exchanged made it easier for Alana to reflect on her journey. She noticed that talking honestly about her avoidant tendencies didn't feel as scary anymore. The more she opened up, the more she stripped the fears of their power over her. Setting goals became the next exciting part of Alana's growth. She wanted to enhance her social skills further and actively sought opportunities to practice. Instead of avoiding parties or gatherings, she started planning attendance at them. At first, it was just small get togethers, but over time, she worked her way up to larger events. The beauty of her journey was not just breaking free from avoidance, but also uncovering strengths she hadn't realized were within her all along. Colleagues at work began to notice her increased participation in meetings and her willingness to share ideas. Self reflection became a regular part of her routine. Alana was excited about what she could discover next. The world felt rich with possibilities, and each step she took, she developed not just her personality, but her life. It was a joyful journey of growth, improvement, and connection that she cherished deeply. How we can use the SWOT analysis to change our personalities. SWOT analysis helps you identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in your personal development, just as you saw in Alana's example. The first step is to identify your personal strengths. These are the talents and skills you can leverage. For example, if you're good at communication, you can use this skill to build better relationships. Acknowledging your strengths boosts confidence and can motivate you to pursue new challenges. Next, you must address your weaknesses. This could mean understanding behaviors or traits that hold you back. For instance, you might struggle with time management. By identifying this weakness, you can take steps to improve it. This may mean setting specific goals or seeking help from others. Awareness of our weaknesses allows for growth in those areas and helps build a more well rounded personality. After identifying your strengths and weaknesses, you can explore opportunities for self improvement. Opportunities might include taking classes, getting feedback from others, attending workshops, or engaging in new activities. For example, if you're interested in art, you could join a local art club or take online courses. Taking advantage of these opportunities encourages personal growth and helps create new skills and interests. Engaging with different experiences can lead to discovering hidden talents and passions, ultimately shaping a better self. Finally, knowing your threats is important. These traits could be negative influences such as toxic relationships or unhealthy habits. When you identify what could hinder your progress, you can take action to mitigate these threats. For instance, if social media is a distraction that impacts your productivity, you might limit your use or take breaks from it. Being proactive in addressing those threats protects your growth journey and maintains focus on becoming the best version of yourself. The process of using a SWOT analysis should be an ongoing practice. As you grow and evolve, you should regularly reassess your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and traits. This allows you to adapt to new challenges and shifts in your life and personality. Continuous self evaluation enables you to stay aligned with your goals and makes it easier to adjust strategies as needed. This adaptability makes you strong in the face of life's obstacles. Setting specific goals based on the findings of the SWOT analysis is necessary. Clear goals provide direction and purpose. For example, if you identify that public speaking is a weakness, you might set a goal to present at a local meetup within the next 6 months. This goal is specific, measurable, and time bound, making it easier to track your progress. With achievable goals, you can maintain your motivation and celebrate your successes along the way. Building a positive self image becomes easier through this continuous improvement process. As you work on your SWOT analysis, you develop a clearer understanding of who you are and what you want to become. This clarity leads to better decision making and strengthens your self esteem. You become your own advocate, empowered to make choices that align with your values and aspirations. Personal growth is not about instantly achieving perfection. Instead, it's more about understanding your flaws and strengths while striving for betterment. Each moment spent in reflection, goal setting, and action contributes to the greater picture of who you wish to become. Once we have a better understanding of what our personality is like, the next step is for us to now lock in, lock in on new habits we desire. Chapter 3 will take us through understanding how to reinvent ourselves in the best way possible through changing our habits and diligently locking in on those new habits. Chapter 3. Lock in on diligent habits. Alana often reflected on her past self, someone who avoided confrontation and blended into the background. She realized that her habits shaped her reality and believed they had to be a better way. She started to read about neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and form new connections. This excited her. The idea that she could mold her mind was empowering. She set small goals like engaging in conversations with colleagues and expressing her thoughts during meetings. Each time she pushed herself, she felt a rush of confidence. One day, while sitting in a team meeting, Alana decided to share her innovative idea about streamlining their workflow. It felt daunting, all eyes on her, but she took a deep breath as she spoke. Something shifted inside her. She wasn't the timid Alana anymore. She was articulate and confident. The team responded positively, and someone even suggested they implement her strategy. That small victory ignited a spark in her. It made her realize that she could no longer downplay her abilities. By exercising the habit of participating, she opened doors she never knew existed. Outside of work, Alana applied the same principles. She joined a local dance club this time. Initially, she felt anxious about dancing in front of many people, but she reminded herself of the habit loop: cue, routine, reward. Cue, routine, reward. The cue was her need for social interaction. The routine was sharing her thoughts on the latest dance moves she had. The reward was the satisfaction of maintaining a healthy summer body and doing what she loved: dancing. It took time, but soon she became a regular and her confidence soared. Alana noticed how these changes changed her social life. She built connections based on mutual interests, breaking down the walls of avoidance she had built over the years. Soon, her dedication began to pay off in a career. Alana was offered a promotion, a role that required her to lead projects and manage teams. In her past, she would have shied away from such an opportunity, but now she welcomed the challenge. The diligent habits she had nurtured equipped her with the tools needed to communicate effectively. She learned to articulate her value without hesitation, and in turn, encouraged the team to share their ideas as well. They thrived under her leadership, and Alana discovered that bringing value to others made her feel fulfilled and successful. Within a year, Alana's life changed dramatically. As her identity shifted, she attracted the success she had always dreamed of. Alana was no longer just a participant in her life. She was the architect of her future, reshaping each aspect according to the diligent habits she had embraced. Her financial success blossomed, and achieving her first million felt surreal. It was a goal she couldn't believe she reached in just 1 year after deciding to change her habits. The more she shared, the more she grew. Alana realized that her life now was a loving cycle of giving and receiving. Each day brought new opportunities to learn, adapt, and thrive. Her new habits nurtured relationships, opened doors to innovative ideas, and allowed her to contribute positively to the world. Whenever she faced challenges, Alana remembered the habit loop, using it as a tool to navigate her emotions and thoughts effectively. Alana felt connected to the world around her in a way she had never experienced. Her personality radiated confidence, empathy, and beautiful boldness. By locking in on her diligent habits, she not only transformed her life, but also positively impacted those around her. This felt like just the beginning, and she was excited to see where her habits would lead her next. How habits work. Habits form through a loop that consists of three parts: cue, routine, and reward. The cue is a signal that starts the process. The routine is the behavior we perform, and the reward reinforces the habit. When we notice this loop, we can begin to take control over our actions and decisions. Committing to diligent habits means we accept the challenge of sticking to our routines, no matter the obstacles we face. This means we have to promise ourselves that we will not give up, even when times get tough. This means that locking in on healthy habits requires our unwavering determination. We often struggle with consistency, but if we focus on the long term benefits, we can develop a mindset that welcomes perseverance. For example, choosing to exercise daily might feel really difficult at first, but the health benefits and the sense of accomplishment become the reward that keeps us motivated. Each time we push through the urge to skip a workout, we strengthen our resolve. Over time, these reinforced behaviors become a part of who we are. Our personalities can shift dramatically when we adopt and stick to the right habits. Regular practice of positive actions shapes our thoughts and attitudes. Just like how a seed grows into a tree, our habits develop our character. The key to making the habit loop work for us lies in understanding our cues. When we identify the triggers that lead us to our routines, we can make intentional choices about how to respond. For example, if stress prompts unhealthy snacking, we can replace that with something else. We can replace that routine with a healthier one, like going for a walk or buying healthier snack options in advance. Each time we make this switch, we weaken the old habit and reinforce a new one. The difference between the person who succeeds and one who doesn't is simply in the way they think. That's why we have to decide to lock in and never give room to what used to keep us stuck and underperforming. The next chapter will now help us understand how to develop a personality that not only enriches our personal lives, but also positively enriches other people's lives too. Chapter 4: Harnessing the Power of Human Psychology. Alana began to notice how her actions affected the people around her. When she smiled at someone, they smiled back. When she took a moment to listen to her coworkers, they opened up more, sharing their thoughts and ideas. She felt her heart grow lighter as she realized this was the connection she had craved. Each small act of kindness was not only brightening someone else's day, but also illuminating her own path. She recalled how difficult it was for her to trust people before. She had built walls around her heart, not wanting to be hurt again. But her focus shifted when she learned that vulnerability could lead to deeper connections. Alana began to share her own stories and struggles, and she found that others related to her experiences. This shared understanding created a bond that made her feel less alone. She learned that it was okay to let people in, and in so doing, she created a space for others to open up as well. As she saw these changes in her relationships, she started to embrace every moment as an opportunity to grow. She practiced gratitude daily, writing down the things that she appreciated about herself and others. This simple habit changed her perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, she viewed them as chances to practice kindness and empathy. Alana discovered that when she put love and respect out there, those qualities often returned to her, sometimes in unexpected ways. When she met someone who seemed withdrawn or sad, instead of shying away, she approached them with warmth and openness. She began to ask simple questions, offering her genuine interest. How has been your day? Or what's something you're excited about this week? These questions encouraged others to engage, helping them feel that their voice mattered. She learned the power of being present, of giving others her undivided attention, which made them feel valued. As Alana nourished these relationships, she not only learned from others but also inspired them. Amid all this change, she nurtured her own self love. She set boundaries to protect her energy, recognizes that it was important to take care of others, but also she had to take care of herself as well. This careful balance between self care and being there for others became her guiding principle. People noticed her transformation. Friends who once distanced themselves began reaching out. They wanted to know how she made those changes and how she found the strength to overcome her fears. Alana encouraged them to start small, to take one step at a time. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, she told them. Just try to focus on what you can give today. Her words resonated. They were practical, simple, and grounded in her experiences. These conversations led to deeper discussions about mental health and healing. Alana explored these topics with an open mind, reading books and continuing to invest in herself. She absorbed the wisdom of those who had walked a similar path. Alana realized that by helping others, she was consciously helping herself. Each interaction filled her soul with joy, reminding her of the incredible power of empathy. She carried this energy through every aspect of her life. She began to dream bigger, striving to make meaningful changes not only in her relationships, but in the world around her. How to be likable and valuable to others. A powerful and beautiful personality is one where who you are inspires others to be better and brings value to their lives. We never grow if all we think about is ourselves. Understanding how to serve others helps us to naturally become more likable. When it comes to relationships, the more we sow is truly the more we reap, meaning the less we give others, the less we are likely to receive from them. Having that said, let's now unpack some key human psychology principles that can help us to be impactful and have magnetic personalities. The importance of curiosity in building relationships. Being genuinely curious about others is key to forming strong relationships. When you show interest in someone else's life, it makes them feel valued. Listening actively creates a safe space for them to express themselves. For example, when a friend tells you about their recent trip, asking open ended questions like, "What was the highlight of your trip?" or "How did that experience change your perspective?" encourages them to share deeper stories. This not only gives you insight into their experiences, but also strengthens your connection. The exchange of experiences enriches both parties and often leads to discovering common interests. When you focus on others, it allows them to feel important and create deeper relationships. Supporting others and building goodwill. Another way to become more likable is by supporting others in their endeavors. Celebrating their achievements, regardless of their size, is important. A simple text saying, "Great job on your project," can uplift someone's mood tremendously. This support creates goodwill and creates a sense of community among your peers. People remember those who stand by them during both good and challenging times. Being the person who cheers for others creates a positive cycle of encouragement. For instance, if a colleague achieves a goal, acknowledge their efforts publicly. This creates a supportive environment where everyone feels motivated and connected, making relationships stronger. The role of approachability in relationships. Next, being approachable is key to becoming likable. A warm smile, inviting body language, and maintaining eye contact can make anyone feel more welcome. These small actions invite conversation and help break down barriers. When you create an open atmosphere, it encourages others to open up as well. It doesn't require much effort. Just being aware of how you present yourself can make a difference. Being positive and approachable can attract more people who appreciate that energy and want to be around you. This welcoming demeanor plays a pivotal role in how people perceive you and can deepen relationships over time. Sharing knowledge and mentoring others. Sharing your knowledge and experiences can greatly enrich the lives of those around you. Offering advice when requested shows that you care about their well being. For instance, if someone is struggling with a particular task, offering mentorship can help them grow and improve. This not only allows them to learn, but also everyone gets something valuable to share and receive. It's a skill and a life lesson that we have to adopt. When you take time to help others realize their potential, it reflects your character. The focus should be on helping others rather than seeking personal gain, creating genuine connections. Harness the power of small acts of kindness. Small acts of kindness often have a big impact. Simple gestures like holding the door for someone or offering assistance can create a ripple effect of positivity. Such actions demonstrate care and consideration, which can uplift someone's day. The beauty of kindness is that it often inspires others to act similarly. For example, if you offer help to a coworker, they might pass that kindness on to someone else. This creates a cycle that reinforces goodwill and a sense of community. Each act of kindness, no matter how small, contributes to a culture of appreciation, making everyone feel better and more connected. Maintaining connections through communication. Finding ways to keep in touch with friends and acquaintances is also important for strengthening bonds. Simple actions like sending a quick text to check in or sharing an interesting article can mean a lot. These gestures remind people that they are on your mind and create a sense of being valued. Consistent communication, even in small ways, shows that you care about the relationship. You don't necessarily have to send lengthy messages all the time. A short note can have a lasting impact. Regular positive contact is important in maintaining friendships and can significantly boost trust and connection. Collaboration as a way to bond. Creating opportunities for collaboration further enhances likability. Working together on projects allows everyone to see each other's strengths and capabilities. For instance, sharing ideas during a team project can lead to stronger teamwork and a sense of belonging. If you tackle challenges together, it becomes easier to celebrate successes together. The shared journey not only makes the work enjoyable, but also builds a greater bond among those involved. Collaborating can also bring new perspectives, further enriching the experiences and connections among the team members. Building empathy in interactions. Empathy is a critical quality for meaningful relationships to form. Understanding where someone is coming from helps to build a stronger relationship. When you genuinely empathize, it shows that you care about their feelings and experiences. For instance, if a friend is going through a tough time, acknowledging their feelings with statements like, that sounds really challenging, can encourage openness. When people know that someone understands them, they are more likely to share personal experiences, leading to deeper connections. Empathy eliminates misunderstandings and creates mutual respect, making interactions more meaningful. The importance of humility. Staying humble also plays a huge role in being likable. Treating everyone with respect and recognizing their unique experiences creates a sense of equality. Everyone has their story and something valuable to offer. Noticing this can help create a culture of gratitude and appreciation. In contrast, arrogance can quickly alienate others. When you're humble, you open yourself up to learning from those around you. Each interaction becomes an opportunity for growth and understanding, hence, deepening your connections. The impact of presence in relationships. Being consistently present in relationships matters greatly. Dedicating time to someone shows that you prioritize them. Engaging in active listening and thoughtful responses makes others feel appreciated. I cannot overstate this. For example, during a conversation, putting away your phone and making eye contact sends a message that you value what they are saying. This dedication influences how people perceive you, making interactions more meaningful. Sharing experiences and being fully engaged helps build relationships that both people feel happy about. Intentional efforts in building relationships. Overall, being likable and valuable to others requires intentional efforts. Genuine interest in others, offering support, practicing kindness, and maintaining presence are fundamental to building strong, lasting relationships. The focus should always be on giving rather than receiving. When we intentionally invest time and energy into building relationships, we build enriching connections that contribute to so much personal growth and a lot of mutual support. So remember, you reap what you sow. So, whatever you want to get from others, make sure that you are the first to sow those seeds and watch what happens. Conclusion. Keep evolving. Having a growth mindset opens up new doors for radically changing our personalities. It encourages us to see challenges as opportunities. For someone healing from past wounds, instead of feeling stuck, a growth mindset allows them to reflect and learn from difficult experiences. We have to believe that we can develop, adopt, and enrich ourselves continuously. When we accept that change is possible, we can approach our lives with curiosity and courage, asking ourselves how we can grow rather than focusing on limitations. In contrast, a fixed mindset can hold us back. This perspective often leads to believing that our qualities, including our personality traits, are unchangeable. It can leave us feeling defeated when faced with setbacks. For instance, if someone struggles with social anxiety, they might label themselves as shy forever. However, Shifting to a growth mindset means accepting that while they may feel uncomfortable now, they can take steps to improve their social skills over time. We have to give ourselves permission to evolve into someone we want to be. Let's think about two friends, John and Abigail. John believes he's not funny and he never tries to tell jokes because he thinks he'll fail every time. On the other hand, Abigail takes the opposite view. She sees humor as a skill she can learn. While she might tell some bad jokes at first, she learns from feedback and practice. Over time, she becomes a person who not only finds her friends laughing, but also makes them feel good and cracks really good jokes too. What can we see from this example? When we have a fixed mindset, our personalities stay the same, and this can be detrimental to us. However, practicing a growth mindset gives us wings not only to fly, but soar. The beauty of evolving is that it allows us to have endless possibilities and tap into them. Learning to welcome growth means accepting our imperfections and mistakes. Each experience, whether good or bad, offers valuable insights. It leads us to discover interests and traits we never knew we had. Each step counts, no matter how small. As we conclude this book, realize that every moment spent focusing on your growth is a step forward towards becoming the best version of yourself. So, congratulations on making it this far. Feel excited about what lies ahead. You possess the power to shape your experiences and create a life filled with joy and possibility. Don't forget to share your journey by leaving a review on Amazon. Your story may inspire someone else to begin their own transformation. You are capable of amazing things. The future is limitless. This book has allowed you to develop better skills to sharpen your personality even more. Now, it's time for you to create a clear blueprint of the sort of personality you will now work on building. Commit to your vision with unwavering determination and watch how your life will keep expanding in proportion to your efforts. You've got this. I wish you the best. About the author, Samantha Monetti is an author, teacher, editor, content creator, and most importantly, a lady after God's heart. She lives in Africa and enjoys learning and enriching other people's lives through her expansive knowledge and understanding of human behavioral science and psychotherapy. She loves growing and inspiring others to grow and reach their full potential. Through this book, she shows the power we all have to achieve the change we want. I hope you enjoyed this book and will share it with a loved one to inspire them to grow too. All the best. Take care of yourself and have a beautiful journey ahead.